Welcome back to Thoughts Over Coffee, where a couple of thoughts share our thoughts over coffee. Some topics will include BPD,
That's me.
autism,
That's her.
ADHD,
Both of us.
as well as dating and culture from across the planet. So, how you doing today, Sassy?
Well, I'm Sassy. That's Seyo. Um,
Oh yeah, that is what it is.
mhm.
Yep.
And
See,
I'm
I'll figure.
I'm doing pretty good. It's actually the morning for me this time because we switched up our recording time. So I ran to my favorite coffee shop, which is like a 2-minute walk from me. I was there, grabbed my latte, and I was back in less than 10 minutes. So very
Which is
excited.
awesome.
hmm My favorite coffee shop in all of Bangkok, and I live right beside it. Perfect.
Now, the only thing when you decide to move to a house, you'll have to go to all the areas and find the best coffee shops and then look for places around that coffee shop.
It's legitimately a thing for me. Yeah, I need to live by a good coffee shop. I have to for my happiness. But this is
Oh, so true.
delicious. It's me Thai coffee, and this family that owns and runs this coffee shop also owns the farm that they grow the beans on. So they
What?
grow their own beans, harvest their own beans, roast them, and then do their own coffee shop with it.
No wonder it's so good.
It's so every person I brought to this coffee shop has been like, this is really good.
Do they like sell their beans for the public or do they have multiple places they bring their beans to?
I can buy the beans in the store, but I think their farm is very small, so they don't like
Hmm,
mass produce for other areas. They had opened a second location, but I think they were like, it's not worth it. So now they've increased the size of their store and added food as well, and they have like really good food.
yum.
Mhm.
Love
And
it.
they're my friends now. So
Oh,
I go there often enough. They're like, we're very friendly. It's nice. When I was on my road trip and my friend was staying in my house and taking care of my pets for me, every day he would go in there and get coffee. They'd be like, how's her road trip going? Like, where is she now?
aw, that's so
But
cute.
so cute. I was like, they don't even ask me that many questions when I'm there, but when I'm gone, apparently they ask.
Which is so weird because for me, it's just like the second somebody recognizes me at a store, I stop going to that store.
Really?
Yep. I don't know if it's like some weird trauma thing or it's just like, but the second they're like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm like, I'm coming here too much. I need to never come here again.
That is such a strange reaction to me. What happened to you in stores before?
I don't know. I think part of it is probably the whole because I've had really terrible stalkery exes in the past. It's
Mm.
like if I start having that routine where it's the same thing all the time, it's like, oh no, if a person is stalking me, they know exactly where I'm going at this exact time, and now I can never come here again because the stalker knows.
I mean, the only reason I'm being so open on something that will go on the internet with where my favorite coffee shop is in regards to my house is because I know I'm going to be moving in a couple months. And this
Right?
episode probably won't be live until I'm moving like close to that time. So
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine.
There you go. That's okay. And I mean, yes, it's 10 minutes there, or, 5 and 5 or whatever, but in which direction? It could
It's
be anywhere.
Bangkok. There are apartment buildings everywhere. It is an extremely dense city.
Yeah.
One of those things people say, especially like Thai people about Bangkok, is they're like, oh, it's a very small city. And I'm like, it is 15 million people. What the fuck do you mean? Like the greater
Right?
Bangkok area is 15 million. Bangkok itself is 10. They're like, but it's so small. I'm like, what? But they mean space. Like you can drive across Bangkok pretty quickly for a city that size. It's very compact.
Okay, so it's not like in Canada or America where you have a house and you have quite a large yard and space
Oh yeah,
between each of
no.
the houses and
There are
stuff.
very rich people that have that, but the vast majority of the population are in condos and apartments. And there's
Mm.
huge condo buildings here, right? Nowhere, even Toronto doesn't have buildings that size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because when you look at Bangkok, it is bigger than Toronto, right? The
Oh,
greater Toronto
yes.
area is 10 million. That's Bangkok alone. So another
Hmm.
zero point 0.5 of that for the Bangkok area. But with no traffic, I can get across Bangkok in like an hour, like 45
Which is
minutes.
amazing.
Yeah. I can get like outside the city. It's kind of like it's Asia, so it's kind of urban sprawl, but technically you're outside the city with no traffic in 30 minutes, and I'm in the core.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's not bad considering downtown Calgary to outside the city, depending on the time of day.
Yeah, depending on traffic, but with no traffic, with Calgary,
Mm.
it's like the same distance.
Hmm.
And Bangkok is 15 times, or no, 10 over 10 times the population.
Yeah.
It's very dense.
Dense but small.
Yeah,
Ish.
yeah, but when people are like, "Oh, it's a small city," I'm like, "Are you on crack?" Like, there's 50 million people. It's a big fucking city. And when you're in the middle of it and you go onto a rooftop, it looks like urban sprawl in every direction because it's apartments. So it's just like in every direction as far as the eye can see. It's city. It's skyscrapers. I love it.
Well, I mean, in a lot of Asian cities, isn't it quite a large population compared to like Canada and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They got a
Yeah,
lot of
compared to
people.
other countries in Asia, this is not like a big city. This is like an average Asian city.
Yeah.
Hmm. In
Wow.
China, I've talked to many Chinese people, and they're like, "Oh, I'm from a town, like a smaller town, and it'll be 1 million people."
Meanwhile, it's just like I grew up in a town of not. I'm pretty sure it was maybe 150 when I was like itty bitty.
Yeah,
Maybe not even.
yeah. I was in a hamlet growing up, and I went to school in town, and so the
Hmm.
bus had to take you there, and the town
Yep.
was 5,000 people, but the hamlet I was in was a couple hundred people.
Right?
Yeah.
So tiny.
Hmm. No, no, small town in China, like 1 million people.
You're like, bitch, that's a city in Canada.
Yeah, it's like one of our capitals.
Right? So many people.
It reminds me of my one friend in Vancouver. Shout out to him if he ever watches this, he might. Uh, who told me once, because he was born, I think, in Hong Kong, but grew up in Vancouver. Like he's completely Canadian.
Yeah.
And one time we were talking, and he was like, "Oh, when I was in high school, I went to a like karate competition in Alberta." And I was like, "Oh, where did you go?" And he's like, "Oh, it was a really small village. I can't remember." And I'm thinking, like, why the fuck was there a competition in a really small village? Like, what village?
Yeah.
And as we were talking a little more in the conversation, he was like, "Oh, I remember. It was Red Deer." And I'm like, "That's our third biggest city."
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, it's this tiny village."
Just so small.
Yeah,
It's just so small. There barely anybody there. Meanwhile, we're just like, no, the magnet train, if we ever get it, the bullet train, it's stopping there.
yeah, that is the city halfway between Edmonton and Calgary. That's like a city to us. It's our third biggest one. It's yeah, hmm
That's
tiny village.
huge. It's a tiny village. Wow. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
Um, what have you been up to this week?
Ugh, nothing? Everything?
Nothing at
Uh
all.
nothing and everything all at once. What was it? So a coworker, it was her birthday, and
Oh,
her fiance recently got into painting like Warhammer
okay.
doodads,
Yeah, yeah.
and he wants her to start painting Warhammer doodads, and she's
Okay.
no. It's not like she's very, I want to say mix kind of witchiness with hippiness. So like
Oh,
witchy and
Warhammer's not her
hippie.
vibe. Yeah.
No,
No.
no, nope, nope, nope. So I got my partner to do some 3D prints of these cute little. It's like a voodoo kitty cat, voodoo doll puppy, and a voodoo
Okay.
doll dude holding scissors.
So she's got something to like paint with him
Yeah,
in her vibe.
that's yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And then a little picture. It's like it's a 3D printed picture that's black and gray and white, and it's kind of like a gypsy girl face
Hmm.
thing. So yeah, did that for her birthday.
I learned a new interesting thing about dating culture here that I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
Um, that on the one hand is cute, and on the other hand, they don't like it. So,
okay. But it
um,
is cute. How so?
I understand how it is cute for Thai people, and maybe this is an Asian thing in general. I
Okay.
don't like it because my Western culture goes, that's mean. Obviously, I'm in a relationship. It's going extremely, extremely well. So my BPD is going mental about it because it's going so well. And I'm trying to tone down my crazy when we talk about it on the podcast, but I'm losing my mind. Okay. I think it's my soulmate. Like the brain's going nuts. Um, and we were hanging out yesterday. He's so sweet. He literally travels 3 hours each direction to come and see me and spend like 6 hours of the day with me. And then he has to go back home. Adorable. So we were hanging out and we got into like pet names and stuff. And we were discussing pet names. So there's a million pet names in Thailand,
Okay.
where in English culture, we tend to default to the normal babe, baby, honey,
Hmm.
right? Babe, babe, baby, honey, hun. Um,
Yeah.
versus in Thailand, they have like a bajillion of them. And he said you tend to kind of agree on one with your partner, and that's the one you use with them.
Okay.
And so one of them, they have, it pretty much translates to my love, which is one we have, but I explained to him because to them, that's the most casual, basic one. It's T Rock, which is my love, basically.
Hmm.
And T is not really my, but that's how it translates, just in case anybody tries to catch me on the translation. um, and he said it's a really basic one, but I explained that in English, saying my love is not basic. It's a little more intimate. Like if I'm saying like, oh, my love, it's more soft and genuine versus
Yeah.
like babe, babe.
Babe.
But they have a bunch that in Thai culture are more cute and intimate. And if Thai people hear you saying this to each other, they'll be like, oh, adorable.
Hmm.
They are all insults. Yeah. They are all what I would consider to be an insult, but that's a pet name here. And the most
Okay.
like popular one is what would translate to like fatty. Mhm. One. One
Patty,
means
what's
fat.
up?
Yeah. And you just call each other like fat. And you're just like, one. It means like my fatty.
You freaking call Kiki like beefy and chonkers. And they're just like, yeah, that means love.
Yes. I'm listening to that. And I'm like, oh, okay. There were some others on the list he showed me, and they were all like, I'm like, oh, that's just an insult. Like you pick something kind of insulting, and that becomes a pet name, and you're like, oh, so cute. And I'm like, I don't want you to call me fatty.
Nope.
Um,
Nope.
like I am by no Canadian or American definition fat.
Hmm.
In Asia, I am, right?
Just
Like I'm
body size
body
and
size.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
know sometimes when I do this and move my arms, it looks like I'm a fatty. I'm not. It's shadows, guys.
You're
Makes me
not
self-conscious every
flexing
time.
at the time.
Yeah. uh, so yeah, no, that's like what I was explaining to him as he's going through these names. I'm like, if I heard somebody say that to their partner in English, that would be abuse. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I would be like, I would have like red flags up. If I was in public, like at a coffee shop, and I heard somebody be like, hey, fatty, I'd be like, ma'am, do you need assistance leaving him? Like,
Yep. Yep. Which is that now triggering the when I was with my Thai ex, he'd be like, God, you're fat, go work out. Was that a thing of
that's a
love?
normal cultural thing. Yes.
That triggered me and I was like, you fucking talk to me like that again, I'm gonna fucking deck you.
That is a normal cultural thing. And I've already discussed this with the boyfriend and discussed, like, okay, the nitpicking thing I told you about before, that's what
Yep,
that
yep,
is.
yep.
So yeah, to them it's showing love and affection and caring, right? It's like, I care about you, you should work out, you're overweight, like, and they expect you to do it back to them, and they expect that that's a
Nope,
sign of caring.
nope.
But I do think your ex was actually abusive,
Oh
right? I
no,
do
he
think he was
was.
actually a bad person.
He was very
Mhm.
abusive, but
So I
I mean
think
like
the way
Jesus.
he was doing it was not the cutesy
Okay.
way. But that is a normal cultural thing here. And so one of the other things, my boyfriend is very self-conscious about his skin tone because he's dark. He's not.
Skin tone looks so nice.
I think
I've
it's
seen
beautiful.
videos.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
man.
He's an extremely attractive man, but
But I mean,
he,
did, didn't he also message you and say like he needs to work out because he's fat?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. His photo is currently my screen background. I have never done that for a boyfriend in my life. He's just like so fine. I'm like, oh my God, I want this photo. Um, and the photo I mean, because
yep,
I was like, he's posting thirst traps on Maine and I can't handle it.
yep.
And he was like, oh, but that's me from a year ago. I want that body back so bad. See, you like it so much, and I'm fat now. And I'm like, you could have told me that was yesterday and I would have believed you. You look exactly the same as this. What do you mean?
He does. He
Yeah,
looks like the video with the little kitten and stuff. Obviously look at the kitten, but you also look at him and you're just like, they're
there's no,
what?
yeah, he's
He's
not
like 2% body fat on this man.
that. He's like, I understand he's not as fit as he used to be and he notices a difference. But I'm like, if you have your shirt off and you flex your muscles, you look exactly the same as this photo from a year ago. Like, sure, when you're relaxed, that's when you're judging yourself, but we all have a little belly when we're relaxed. It's called our intestines. Right?
Like,
Like,
you can't be flexing all the time. Your muscles get tired.
so, I kind of pointed that out. And then I caught him like looking at himself very confused in my bathroom mirror with his shirt off, where he was kind of going like getting this confused look and going over his body. And I'm just like, yeah, see, you look the fucking same. It's like, what?
Does he
Yeah.
does he have like some body dysmorphia or
Oh,
anything
yeah.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. He's
Aw.
had a rough life when it comes to mental health stuff, but we won't get into
Yeah.
that here.
No.
But the nickname thing, so because I brought up the skin tone because he's like, yeah, one of the ones you could use for me is it basically translates to darky, right? Like my dark skin, come here, dark skin, my dark skin would be what it is. And I don't remember the Thai word for skin right now, but it literally translates to like, oh, my skin dark, come here, like dark skin who belongs to me. And I'm like, okay, so I understand that that's normal and good for you, and in your culture and language, that is not racist. But to me, that sounds like the most racist, horrible fucking thing. Like, what?
But I mean, like, you're white. Like, you're very white. So for you to just be like, hey, my dark skin, come over here.
Right?
Get over here, dark. Like, are you fucking shitting me? I
And
wouldn't be able to say that at all.
no, I was like, I can't do that. Also, in my opinion, he's not that dark skinned, right? His skin
Oh,
tone is a very medium level to me. Like, there's a lot of Thai people who are very dark skinned, right? And there's, people in the other cultures of people who are much darker, like Indian people and African people, right?
yeah,
So to me, when I look at his skin tone, he's pretty medium.
yeah.
He's not dark at all. But because Thai culture values whiteness so heavily, even though he's like medium lightish in Thailand, they would
Mm.
still look at him and be like, "Oh, you're a little dark. You're too dark." Right? They would be like, "You should stay out of the sun." But he works on a fucking farm. Like, so, and that's another reason he judges the skin tone, because when he was living and working in Bangkok, he was much lighter. He was very
Oh,
light skinned, and now that he's out there on the farm, he's gotten darker.
because he was inside all the time. He had to like running his clothing business and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but that's seen as
it's
good here.
yeah.
So yeah, and I had asked him the last time we hung out. I was like, "What do Thai people say about white people in a bad way? I want to know the racist words against white people. I want to know." And he's like,
Oh
"We don't
shit.
really have any. Like, Thai people love white people, um, but they have one
Hmm.
that I learned, and I really like it. It's very fun for me because I'm white. So, like at the end of the day, any racist term against me will not impact me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I understand my privilege, right? Where this doesn't impact me at all.
Yeah.
Uh, so the word for foreigner in Thailand is farang, right? Which
Yes.
translates to guava. And there's some argument on why that became the word for foreigner, and it tends to mean white foreigner. White foreigners only are called farang.
Okay.
Um, so they have one insult for farang, and they call us bird shit farangs because they'll just call us bird shit. That one's bird shit. And I thought it was because bird shit is white, but he said no, it's because birds eat guava seeds, and then bird shit will have guava seeds in it. So a guava tree, a farang tree, will sprout out of bird shit. So it's just like, oh, those bird shit ones. So they'll use that when a farang is being really rude or like a bad person, and they'll be like, bird shit farang. That guava tree grew out of shit, like, I'm like, I love that.
That's
So
funny.
good. Um, but then the next time we're hanging out and we're talking about these nicknames, he was like, "Oh, one of the things like Thai people can say about white people is big nose, right? But Thai people like
Oh,
big noses. They think it's beautiful. Our big Western noses are beautiful. They want to have big noses like us. Weird. It's culture." So he's like, "So what I could say for you is my big nose," and I'm like, "No, mm-mm."
I hate that because when I was growing up, I hated oh my God. It was,
Oh,
nope, nope.
big trigger for you. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is,
I quite like my nose. I think it's a good size for my face. The only issue I have with my nose is, for some reason, on cameras only, it looks crooked. In real life, it
oh,
doesn't. But
yeah.
camera lighting always makes it look like it's going one direction. I don't know what.
Mm.
But I'm like, I don't have any nose issues. But I was still like, I don't like that. And he's like, I could call you my white skin, and you could call me your dark skin. And I'm like, okay, like 50% of that I'm okay with. You can call me your white skin, sure, but no, I cannot.
I
Um
just, I just can't. It's just, it sounds too racist for me.
sounds so racist.
Like, I get it. It's a term of endearment for
Mhm.
you guys, for like two Thai people saying it to each other. I get it. But also, I grew up in the land just north of people who were very racist to black people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, if I said that in Canada or in the States,
Mm-hmm.
nope.
I don't want to say on the podcast exactly where I grew up because it's a small town.
Yeah,
Um, but the name of the area,
yeah.
one of the names of the area, not exactly where I grew up, but like close enough, is a name that already sounds kind of fucked up. And I remember once I
Right?
was talking to a black person in America, in Seattle, and he was like, "Oh, where are you from in Canada?" I was like, "Oh, I'm originally from," and I said that name, and he did the, mm? Excuse me? And I was like, okay, the name is actually a translation from indigenous language that white people mistranslated into a word that sounds very bad. And he was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, okay, okay. I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
it's not, it doesn't mean the thing that you immediately thought because his eyes were like,
Right?
hmm?
Because, I mean,
Yeah.
yes, Canada, we did have slavery, and it's very terrible, and the things that Canada did very bad.
Oh, the residential
The
schools.
the residential schools, the poor Japanese during, POW camps and all that stuff,
Hmm.
like terrible, terrible. So, very bad. Luckily, we don't do that no more.
Yeah, the last residential school closed like the year before my little brother was born. It was like
Yep.
very recent that we don't do that. We have blood on our hands. But yeah, Canada's not perfect. Sorry, guys who want to escape to Canada.
Not perfect. Hopefully getting better.
Hopefully, the world keeps improving. um,
Yes.
yeah, so I will not be calling him my dark skin.
Nope.
Mhm. But it
Are
is
you
kind of
still
disappointing that the one that means my love, which is what I would like to say, I think that's very nice, is like, oh, the
huh.
super common, like not that cute one. I'm like, well, you can't, I don't want to insult you.
Oh, are they saying my love in Thai or are they saying my love in English?
Rock.
Could you guys just say it in English?
We could, but I want something because right now we primarily communicate in English.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
hoping that as I learn Thai, this will switch and we will be able to primarily communicate in Thai in the future or switch back and forth.
Hmm.
So I would like the option for both.
Fair.
Um, yeah, because
Just to
my brain is crazy and I'm 100% convinced that I'm going to marry this man and stay with him for the rest of my life.
once you get to a certain age, when you're getting into your, mid to late 30s, your 40s, your 50s, people generally tend to they know who they are, they know what they want. They have a good sense of the other person. So unless something like super terrible happens, they cheat on you or become like a narcissistic asshole. Generally, you stay together.
Yeah, that gives me a lot of hope, and I'm already crazy. So you're definitely enabling me. Thank
Okay.
you.
Uh, positive. Like I'm just going with positive. As long as he treats
Mhm.
you well and he wants to work hard and you know be stable. And I don't know if therapy's a huge thing there. Maybe get some
It's not
therapy.
in Asia in general. It's not.
Mm.
I think he is open to it though. It's
Okay.
just a matter of money, right? I don't know how much
Yeah.
that costs here compared to income. But as long as he wants to keep his white skin around, his big nose, white skin, fatty.
Sexy. Like, can he call you like sexy butt or something? Like sexy
They
thighs?
don't do like sexy. They don't talk like that in public.
Okay.
But I was like, could you maybe you could call me blue eyes or something like that. Like
Yeah.
that's nice. It's unique about me. It's nicer than my skin. I don't know. Um, but I don't know
Right?
what to call him. I'm gonna,
Brown
yeah,
eyes?
yeah,
Blue eyed brown eyes.
we could just do that. I don't know.
Oh, still sounds better than fatty.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call him my dark skin fatty. I'm not gonna do that. What?
It's terrible, especially if he's like, I think I'm fat, and then you're like, yeah, you are fatty. Like, I can't.
Like, I am not gonna play into your insecurities, and I know I'm being hyper Western, and I know I live in your culture, and I need to accept aspects of your culture, but also like, no, I'm gonna build you up. I'm not gonna nitpick
Yeah.
you. I'm sorry. I will nitpick things you can control because it makes him happy to be nitpicked.
Yeah.
He likes that. So it's like if you have like, like crud in your eyes, I'll be like, oh, you've got that. Or like, oh, fix your hair, like things you can control and fix easily, like dirt, you know?
Yeah. Or, oh, hey, maybe we should, you're getting a little
Yeah,
hairy right
yeah,
there, let's
exactly.
pick
Things
that
like
out.
that.
Yeah.
Because it makes him happy. He likes that. Okay. But I'm not the fuck gonna call you fatty. You're not fat. Like, I'm not gonna play into that insecurity.
Oh, that's what I like with my partner. I do the whole like, oh, we should do, or oh, you have like a hair that's growing outside of your beard line. Like, when they have like the line and then there's like one or two growing out. It's like, oh, we need to fix those. There, now you're perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I like stuff like that because I want you to do that for me too, right? If
yes,
I've got like
exactly.
fucking eyebrow hair coming out in the middle or something, be like, oh, hey. Like, I want to know if I've got something wrong. Um, but yeah, the, the I'm not, no, don't like the dark skin thing, especially. hmm
Nope.
And it's another
Nope.
thing he's insecure about. He's like, oh, I'm too dark. I'm like, I think you're beautiful. I really like your skin color because, okay, bear with me, everybody, because I'm going to use the term yellow, but I'm talking about undertones, skin undertones.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have red undertones to my skin, right? When I tan, I turn kind of pinkish. Like, this is me with a tan, and even the camera's picking up I'm pink, right? And
Yeah.
it's a blue light, and it's still picking up pink. He's yellow. When he tans, it's like gold. It's so
Oh,
fucking pretty.
oh,
Okay. It's like he's like especially when the sun hits him, it's like, damn, that is a nice undertone. I can't turn that color. I turn red. And not just like sunburn red, but like even me with a tan, I will have a red undertone, not this pretty ass gold undertone. Like, it's not olive, it's yellow, so it turns gold. It's really nice. Jealous. But then they're jealous of me. So it's always like, grass is greener, right?
yep.
hmm
You could
So,
cover him in coconut oil and he could be a statue, like the statue of David, but statue of sexy Thai man. And then you could like
oh,
lick all the coconut oil off of him with your tongue.
but
Man.
coconut oil makes me break out, so I don't want it on my
Oh,
skin. So
okay.
I'd have
Something
to
that
like
you
get it all
could
off. Yeah.
lick off.
I'm gonna send you a photo of him, and I'm not gonna share with the podcast. Just look. Yeah. I really like that.
Oh, I've been watching this, not him, but there's this one Asian guy on TikTok that is like dressed like this, and he's doing the actual like traditional dances, wearing this stuff with very similar body type. Oh my God, so
Yeah.
sexy.
That's I really enjoy that.
Hmm. Was this
Uh
for like a photo shoot, or was he just doing it for fun, or?
He looks like, well, that's obviously in Ayutthaya, right? At the
Yeah.
ruins. And when I
Hmm.
went to Ayutthaya, I posted the video, so you've probably seen it.
Yeah.
There were a billion people dressed up in fancy, like, cultural gear doing photo shoots at every ruin set. So it seems like a normal thing that, like, Thai people do, is they go like, hey, let's go do a little, like, ancient ruins shoot with traditional gear on. And the stuff for women is so colorful and pretty. Like, some of those outfits in my video, you can see when I'm zipping around. They're beautiful. The men's stuff is always gold and shirtless. And it's like, I want to oil you up so bad.
Is it terrible? My brain just went to Vikings were slave traders and you're a Viking who ended up looking for people and you found him and then you're
Oh,
like, you are now
no.
mine.
I have brought that up with him Um, and I think about this a lot because I I love evolutionary biology.
Yeah.
Big fan of evolutionary biology. Big fan of learning about how our minds are influenced by, the past and everything like that, and our behavioral patterns. And while I do not partake in society, I do subscribe to a lot of understanding of evolutionary biology on an extremely wide scale because I think that makes sense. I don't necessarily know how much short term impacts our minds versus culture, right? The culture we grow up in. So I do know that women are more prone to wanting to move out of home and move far away than men.
Yeah.
And there was an evolutionary reason for this because the primary span of human existence, we've been tribal, right?
Mhm.
And in order to avoid like a fuck ton of inter incest and
Yeah.
interbreeding with your family members, you had to move to different tribes. And
Yeah.
that tended to be women because women were easier to be accepted into new tribes very quickly because the men would accept them right away. And then once they
Mhm.
got pregnant, the women would accept them because it becomes like a family thing. Versus men integrating into new tribes is not easy. So there is a theory, or maybe it's a hypothesis, I don't know if it's a full theory, that this is why still in our society women tend to feel this need to go and like move further away faster and find somebody from further away, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I was growing up, nope. I was just like, even super young, like 5, 6 years old. I was just like, I don't want to live. I'm not gonna marry any of these people. It's like, I don't know. I was hyper aware of. I'm like, nope, I'm not staying here. I hate all of these people my entire life. I'm like, nope, I'm not staying here. We're going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I felt the same way, right? Like I
Mm,
very much am like, obviously I moved to fucking Thailand. Like my
yeah.
brain has pushed me to move as far away as possible in almost a panicky state. Like I will
Mm,
have panic attacks over the thought of still living where I grew up. Which is also trauma based, but there's
mm.
definitely a deep seated like thing in there that's pushing and has been my whole life, right?
Yeah, but I mean, also, you are a you're a travel city person. Like even when I first met you, you're very much like you want to explore. You've always wanted to explore the world and see all the things. You don't want to stay in a tiny ass little hamlet.
No, but
No.
I do notice, like, especially with Facebook and social media now, so many people I grew up with, the men have been fine with staying like that, and a lot of the women have left, right? And
Yeah.
so there is this large scale pattern that fits that. So it's not just me as an example. And I do think that theory makes a lot of sense. So I kind of subscribe to that. And then there's the other aspect of like, um, my ancestors are from Norway.
Yep.
We literally have like 400 or 500 years of our family history, which is pretty crazy. Like we know on both sides where we came from.
Yeah.
Um, and this part of my family that's from Norway is just from Norway, right? Like for generations and generations and generations from Norway. And I wonder, like, yeah, I'm this like woman that came from a culture where we went out and did that, and it was in our nature to want to go out and meet and collect, and like it wasn't nature, right? This was how our society was built. But after a couple thousand years of that, does that become a voice in my head going like, you gotta go and conquer something, like you gotta go pillage, where's
I
all the
think it
pillaging?
does.
Mm-hmm.
No, because even with, if you look at just generations, you have like, obviously more dark your generational traumas and stuff like that, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
things happened to my great great grandmother that it was so bad, it's still like in your DNA from wherever it goes. So, I mean, Vikings, that's what they did for like hundreds of years,
Yeah, like
is
a
like they
thousand years
traveled
or
and
more. Yeah.
yeah, they did all this stuff, and it's so ingrained in their DNA that even though, evolution and technology and da da da, you're still like must go, must travel, must experience.
I think I have the perfect like brain cocktail to have made
Hmm.
that come out, right? Because
Yeah.
that didn't come out in the rest of my family. And if
Mm.
or if it did, they just didn't listen to it like I did. But because of my BPD, and then because whatever that little evolutionary thing is to be like, run away from home now, get away from here is very, very strong in me. These things all mixing together definitely made me act more like a Viking
Yeah.
than my ancestors, right? But that might be more BPD than anything. And I'm just like, I don't know, because we'll never know why we act exactly like we do, right? We can be like, is it
Mm.
my ancestors talking to me through time, or is it borderline personality disorder?
Or is it both?
Or is it both? It's magical. Let's go. I need to pillage something and steal this man, and he's mine now.
Like if you're reading a comic or an anime and you have the person that's sitting at the desk at school and you have all their ancestors being like, you need to go, but they can't hear them because they're just neurotypical people. But because you have the BPD, it's almost like you can hear the voices calling to you.
Yeah. Because BPD is in the same family as schizophrenia.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, one of the things about BPD is we do like not we do we can hear and perceive things that aren't real and aren't there, and I do have that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Hey, maybe it is just my fucking ancestors, and we're not that crazy as BPD people.
Right?
Maybe we hear our ancestors. Maybe
Yeah,
some of
it's
our
kind of like
ancestors
the
are nuts.
like ghost whisperers, but your ancestor whisperers.
Yeah, that's ghosts. It could be ghosts. Yeah. I don't know. I think my pillaging Viking ancestors would definitely be more proud of the life I've lived than the rest of my family who didn't go out and pillage shit.
Right? They just stayed in the village and they made boats or clothes or
Did.
something. I don't know.
Yeah, they
They
just
just
farmed. They were more like the farmers, I guess, and they were just
yeah.
like, yeah, and I'm out here pillaging.
Oh,
Hmm.
you're Vikinging it up.
I left to a very, very far away land and found a new culture and went, I like these parts of it. I will take
Yeah.
them. Hmm.
Yeah. These are good. I like this. I don't like this part. I'll take you can keep that and I'll take the rest of this.
Yeah. Don't call me fatty big nose, please.
No.
Oh, I can't wait until we can actually start like doing normal domestic ass shit together because we'll have longer than like 6 hours at a time to spend with each other and we can
Hmm.
watch shows and stuff because I think we'll have very similar tastes. But, it'll need to be like subtitled in one of our languages. Hmm.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's also watching things in Thai with English subtitles or watching things in English with Thai subtitles also does help you. Yeah.
Um, for me, I need to listen in Thai
Mm.
because I'm nowhere near at the point of reading where that's going to be helpful at all. That'll just be gibberish.
Yeah.
I can read individual letters. Like that's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
It takes me so long too. I'll be like, S, sa. That I think says sa. Like it's bad. I'm like that.
Okay, at least like listening with the English subtitles would help a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to introduce him to Star Trek. I don't know, he might already know it, but I just feel like Star Trek is so his vibe because he's such a sweetie pie. I just think like
Yeah.
PNG, he'll love it.
Star Trek and then the Orville. Love
I
the
love the
Orville.
Orville. I know Trekkies fucking hate it, but it's so fun.
It's so
Um,
good.
yeah, I really enjoy it. I know that's like sacrilege as a Trekkie, but I
No.
liked it. Shut the fuck up, guys, okay? It's
Even my
fun.
one friend who she hates Discovery, she won't watch it. I
Yeah,
mean, she
me,
tried, but she hates it. Her
me
favorite, same thing as you, Deep Space Nine.
too.
Freaking loves Deep Space Nine. Will watch it all the time. And I was like, you need to watch the Orville. And she's like, no, I don't like Star Trek parody things. No, I hate it. I hate it. And I was like, please,
Parody.
I, right? And I was just like, please just, and I even sent some shorts to her partner. I was like, here, if you start liking it, maybe she'll watch it. And they watch. She loves it.
Yeah.
freaking loves the Orville. It's so good.
Yeah. My favorite Star Trek series will always be Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is a fucking marvel of television. It is one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life. Yes, the first couple seasons suck. It is
Mm,
worth it.
mm.
Like I have never seen any aspect of TV or movies or any media show so beautifully what it would be like to live through a war as
Mm.
people who are not on the front lines. You know, like
Yeah.
watching your friends die and knowing what's happening and like watching the mental health spirals of the entire cast and how it portrayed that in the 90s.
Hmm.
Beautiful, beautiful television. Our topic for today is growing up with neurodivergence, right? We wanted to talk about childhood, and I do think my childhood traumas and bullying was not necessarily due to my neurodivergence.
Mm.
I think it was more just my situation, right? Like, I was not from the town I went to school in, it was from the countryside outside of the town.
Yep.
And so it was very isolated and it was pre internet. Like it was around the time the internet was becoming a thing, but we didn't have internet at home.
Nope.
And most of the kids, I think, kind of did, or everybody was starting to get it. Like we got it quite late because we're
Oh, like the
countryside.
dial up
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we got dial up in like 2005. Like
Mm.
late. Um, And so most of my bullying was due to the fact that I was big ugly duckling syndrome. I was the
Yep.
ugliest kid in school by a lot. And there was a core memory for me that I will never forget. It was grade 6 in class. We had like some free time, like a recess sort of thing, but we were in the class. And the popular kids were playing truth or dare at the back of the class. And I was just sitting at my desk, I think probably reading a book, right? We didn't have cell phones.
Yep.
And they had a dare to come and touch me on the shoulder. That's how ugly I was. It was a dare to come and like touch me on the shoulder. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. When I tell people like, oh, I was an ugly kid, they're kind of like, oh yeah, weren't we all? I'm like, no, 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 no. No, I was a horrifically ugly child.
No,
Mhm.
I was, yeah, there. I had braces, cystic acne. Um, my mom permed my hair, and my hair didn't like it, so then she had to literally cut my hair to almost like a bowl cut.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
What
So
grade
I
was
had.
that?
I'm gonna. I want to say like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I had braces, I had a
Hmm.
bowl cut, I had super thick because this is before glasses were thin, like
Oh,
they
you had
could
the
make them thin.
real like.
So I had like bubbles from fucking Trailer Park Boys, but Coke bottle size glasses that make your eyes look teeny tiny, not big. No, no, teeny tiny.
The opposite of the
Um,
bubbles. Yeah.
Yep, the opposite end with the braces. So apparently, I was like a flesh version of Darth Vader. If you take the helmet of Darth Vader, where it goes like do do do, and it has the big, and then kind of like the grill.
Oh.
Yep,
Okay. You said a flesh version of a person who's
yep.
a person, and I'm like, I
No,
have to
like the
feel.
mask.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Like a flesh.
yep. Like a flesh version of a thing and stuff. And when my hair is very short, it makes my
Oh, so it looked
face
like
look.
the mask cut. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, like Lord Farquaad with glasses and.
Yes, yes, Lord Farquaad. And then I didn't have boobs till I was 8. Nope, 19. Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
those
get
are
boobs till. Yeah, I didn't get boobs till I was 19. So I was super flat, but I had a massive ass and thighs.
mm-hmm.
So obviously you got picked on for having thighs and an ass and no boobs because God forbid you don't have boobs.
So many memories coming out as you.
Yep,
I
yep.
I didn't have braces. I do wish now that I'd gotten braces. I know my teeth were never bad enough for it, but now
Mhm.
they're just a little misaligned. Now as an adult, I'm like, everybody has such nice teeth because people get their teeth fixed, and I didn't. Um, So I didn't have that, no glasses. It was just like the shape of my face was different. I do not
Hmm.
look like the same person. I was very ugly. I did have the hair thing though, because I had straight, long, straight, kind of blonde, like it's still kind of blondish brown, right? I consider it dark. I consider it brunette because we're from
Yeah.
Canada where there's lots of blonde people, but hairdressers tell me I'm actually in the middle of blonde and brown.
Okay.
I'm like a
Yeah,
five.
your hair's very, especially in the sunlight, it's very light. It's
Blonde
very,
in
yeah,
the sun. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm a level 5 or 5.5 at the base, I think, and then a 5 at the tips. Like
Hmm.
I'm in the middle. Um, so in Asia, people think I'm blonde, which is adorable. And they fucking love my hair color here. People think I've done this on purpose. I'm like, it's my natural hair. And then they'll ask me again like 3 more times because they don't believe it. I'm like, no, because this is the trendiest hair color in Thailand.
Oh, oh,
They
that's
don't go
awesome.
full blonde here because
Mm.
it's not natural looking, but they do this kind of like auburny, like light, yeah.
Mm.
So I'm made for Thailand, guys. Everybody loves me
There you
here.
go.
I'm a 10 in Thailand. Awesome. Guys, if you're an 8 in Canada, you'll be a 10 in Thailand. Come on.
If the heat wasn't so high, and if I could figure out how to get my MS treatment without it being that hot, I could go.
The heat's a
That's my,
thing, but you can live in air conditioning, which is what
yeah.
everyone does. Um, yeah, so I didn't have like the braces or the glasses or anything, but I had this straight hair. And then my grandmother randomly, I can't remember, I think it was like grade 4 or 5. I don't remember
Mm.
exactly. One day when I was at her house, she just cut my hair, and my mom was so. And I remember my grandmother asking me, like, should we cut your hair short? Like, she just thought, like, oh, let's, because I just had kind of long, normal hair, and she cut it to like here. And in that exact moment, it must have been because, it was right at the moment where my hair was going to change, because hair changes from childhood
Yep.
to adolescence, right? Like, uh, it decided it was curly. And she bobbed it. There was no layering. So it did the triangle, the full like triangle. Like it was like bad.
Yep.
And it was so curly. My mom was angry. And now in hindsight, like now I can look at that and be like, I'm fully on my mom's side. Like my grandmother just randomly asked the child who doesn't know any better and then cut her own hair. This
Right?
wasn't a hairdresser. And my mom's like, what the fuck? Like, I leave for you to babysit her. Yeah.
Nope, nope,
Uh,
nope, nope.
and my hair was never straight again. It's always had a curl to it, but now it's kind of lost. It's more wave pattern curl. But at
Mhm.
that point, it turned to ringlets,
Oh,
which
wow.
now I can look back on and be like, oh my God, I bet that was beautiful. Like, as an adult, I can be like, I had full ringlets, like full ringlets naturally in my hair. And they would sit kind of like that perfect curl that women do, where it's like a little bit straighter at the top and the bottom would just curl into ringlets. Because it grew fast. It grew back out really fast. And I got tormented for my hair because it was also frizzy because it's super dry in Alberta and I had curly hair. So
Yep.
it would be frizzy as hell. Like I could not get that under control, no matter what products we used. So I was always tormented for my frizzy, crazy hair. And I would go through times where I wouldn't wash my hair for a week just because as soon as I washed it, it would be so frizzy. So I would let it get so greasy and I would know it was greasy and I would just keep it in a ponytail because the kids made less fun of me for greasy hair than they did for frizzy hair. Mm-hmm.
They're so they're so mean. I got picked on because grew up on a farm, so you had to do chores before you go to school, you know? And so you'd have your jeans that were very tight because you'd have to put your rubber boots on so you could go
Mm.
muck, go to the chicken and go to all the things and stuff, right? And then you go to school and you got picked on for, oh, your pants are tight. Okay, they're not flared bottoms like
Mm.
everybody else. They're not baggy. They're super tight and you're ugly because you're wearing tight pants. And it's just like, Why? Why are kids so mean? And they would just pick on you for everything. Your hair's wrong. You're too loud. You're holding your pen incorrectly. Like everything.
Hmm.
So
They
dumb.
Kids are trying to establish social hierarchy in a situation where the rules have not been defined by adults and they're allowed to just go fucking ham, right? Like in reality, there's no control in schools. There's no
No,
control with the social aspect of it.
no.
And I understand that that is human nature. Like they're trying to find social hierarchy, they're trying to figure out what it is. But we don't have the tools, the knowledge to know that's what's going on. So you just become mean.
Well, they become mean. They also the amount of times I got beat up as a kid. Like
Mm-hmm.
they would literally take my hands and pull them through the chain link fence,
Mm-hmm.
and one person would hold my hands on one side and the other two kids would like beat the crap out of me on the other side of the fence.
Was it girls only or was it in both genders?
No, it was boys too.
Yeah,
It was
that was
both.
something that I
It was
found
both.
too. I didn't get beat up a lot because I lived so far away from town. Like I was never in town in the school area where my bullies were.
Oh no, this
So,
was during school during lunchtime because I got
oh,
bussed in too.
yeah, I didn't leave. We didn't go outside for lunch. We
Oh,
cafeteria.
yeah, because they'd had like, your recess times and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So you go out and play and whatever. And yeah, if I went out, I got the shit kicked out of me.
we had recess in like elementary school, but not in
Hmm.
high school. Our breaks in high school were like 10 minutes.
Oh,
So nobody like, yeah, we weren't going outside. But the in elementary school, like early elementary school, I got beat up a couple times, and it was always by boys, like a group of boys. Um, yeah, that was like a thing, but it was like so young. It wasn't a thing later. And I think because I had three different schools. So the first one I went to early elementary school, the way that the field was set up was just conducive to that. Like it was kind of backed into the school with nothing around it. It was too easy for the teachers to like not see what's happening with little kids playing. So yeah, there was a lot more of the beating up. But then the second school I went to, the middle elementary school, it just
hmm.
had more structured fields
Okay.
and it just felt like there was more teachers watching all the time. So I think that's why that didn't happen as much there.
Yeah.
And then I was picked up with the bus and brought, like, I was never around outside of school hours.
Hmm.
And then high school, I know a lot of people got beat up, but I was never a target for that.
It's good.
And I think it's also because like a lot of the fighting was racially motivated between the indigenous kids and the white kids, but I was like a country kid from not in school, so I never made enemies with the indigenous kids.
Hmm.
So it was more like the I think the popular kids, popular white kids, and the indigenous kids from the other school would fight more.
Yeah. No, it was boys in elementary and then it was girls in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had health issues and stuff like that, so then I ended up doing homeschooling.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that to graduate instead because I was just, yeah,
I didn't
health
graduate. I dropped out and emancipated myself.
fair. If I had somebody to go to, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I that part of my childhood was definitely due to the BPD. But I
Yeah.
think again, my early being picked on wasn't. I think my sensitivity to it
Hmm.
was. But the reason I was picked on was definitely like I was a nerd.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was
Oh my
ugly
gosh.
first and then I was a nerd second, and those were the two things. And when you talk about clothing, like I also got picked on for clothing because I didn't know how to dress. I didn't live in town. I didn't have peers. I didn't have
Yeah.
the internet. I didn't watch TV shows that taught me about fashion. I don't know anything.
Yeah. Like same thing. We grew up. middle of buttfuck nowhere. The only TV we had other than like VHS tapes and stuff was
The two
we got
channel.
this no, we had no channels until we got the giant satellite dish.
Oh yeah, my
The
grandparents
gi-
had the giant one.
the giant that and it got like I don't know, 2 to 5 channels, something like
Mhm.
that. Like it wasn't that many.
But where
And
you
so,
grew up was more mountainy, right?
yes,
Yeah, where I grew up is
very in the
really
mountain.
flat, so we were able
Yeah.
to get more channels with the dishes,
Mhm.
but you guys would have been really limited.
Yeah, it was like I had what is it? Star Wars 4, 5, and 6 completely fully memorized by the time I was 6. Fully
Yeah.
memorized. I had all the Disney movies memorized. I could act every single one of them out. Like that was what I did for fun is I would
Mhm.
color or I would write and then I would just memorize all of the Disney movies and all the songs.
Yeah. I I rewatched movies a lot in early childhood, like developmental, which
Yeah.
I know rewatching is like a very big autism thing. I grew out of it,
Hmm.
but I did rewatch them enough that it made my parents crazy. But I think that's just a little kid thing because my brother did the same thing. And
Yeah.
everybody I ever hear about is like, oh yeah, my child rewatches the same fucking thing. Like when you're
Yeah.
little child, right? As
Yeah. They're
little, like
like,
as if
I want to
children are
watch
this little.
the Minions. Let's watch Minions over and
Yeah.
over and over again. It's like, no, go away.
Yeah. I so I know I did the rewatching, but I grew out of that pretty fast. It was I think I only rewatched things just due to like there was nothing else to do. But
Yeah.
my primary escapism was creating stories in my head and
Yes.
going out and playing by myself. Like
Oh,
lots of internal fantasies.
so many. I played by myself so much. Like,
Hmm.
even when we moved into town, um, it was still, I was alone by myself watching anime, writing way too many fanfics about
Mm.
crossovers between this one and that one and just all kinds of, yeah. And then I was doing video, what is it, music videos and yeah, I just, yeah, my own little world.
Mhm.
I had
Yeah.
like one friend.
When you are that isolated and you've got no friends, what else do you have, right? Like you got your own little world.
Yeah, I
Um,
had my cat and my
mhm.
books. Read so many books.
A lot of books in
Yeah.
early, oh my God, in childhood I read so much and now I don't read at all. Maybe
Right?
maybe because it was the only thing I could do in childhood and now I'm like I'm free, so don't have to read.
I still I
You
still
read a lot more than
consume
I do. Yeah.
I consume books, but I'm not reading them.
Oh,
I'm
audiobooks.
I'm listening to the audio. I think it's because it's harder for me to read now. I think it's because of the MS. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's just it's very hard for me to read and for my brain to actually retain the things I'm reading. But if I
Mhm.
listen to it, I retain it so well. So, I
I
don't.
also have trouble with reading and retention. I think
Mm,
it's one of like my learning styles are part of the ADHD or something.
yeah.
But as a kid, that wasn't an issue. And I think it was just out of necessity. It's like, this is
Mm,
how I can consume media is reading. So I
yeah.
read. But now I really like, I'm not good at researching, even online, because I'm not good at reading and retention. But
Yeah.
yeah, if I listen to it, I will remember it infinitely better.
Yeah.
If I do it, that's the number one way, right? Like,
Yeah.
let me repeat it a couple times and process it, and then I got it. But yeah, I emancipated myself at 16 and moved like 9 hours away because we got the internet in 2005. I was
Mm,
15. I met
yeah.
a boy on the internet by the time like my 16th birthday rolled around, and I moved away. Like within a year of getting the internet, I moved away because I was like, I can't live like this. Like I was so fucked up and suicidal. So yeah.
I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to learn about the world and you want to see things, but it's you can't because even the internet is like holding you back.
For me, I think the primary push for that was the BPD desire for romance. Like, I had no romantic prospects. I had no ability to date. Like, there was nothing happening. And
Yeah.
I needed that in my life. Like, the BPD came out real bad in teenage mode, right?
Yeah, the
So all I had,
hormones and everything.
mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
all I had was like celebrity obsessions. And then once I met a man on the internet who gave me attention and decided he wanted to be with me, I left. And I was 16 and that man was 21.
That's the ages when my dad and my mom met.
Yeah, now I can look at that and be like, I think I think in Alberta it was still technically legal because after 16 and within 5 years until you're over
Okay.
18 was legal. There was like a 5 year window and it was exactly in that.
Hmm.
I think, but I also still think it was disgusting. Like he had severe mental health issues and he acted, I wouldn't say super mature, you know, but shocker, that relationship ended up being extremely abusive. I know you're shocked. Yeah.
This is my shocked face.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody listening is just, um, can't believe it.
I remember when I was 14. I want to say like 14 or 15. I was hanging out with some girls from school, and then they introduced me to a dude who was 20 or 21, somewhere in there. And at
Mm-hmm.
first I was like, okay. And then I think it was, I don't know, my second or third time meeting him, and I'm like, this is not right. This is weird. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna step back from this. It's
I
very rare.
I had friends in like, oh my god, they there was this one girl, my friend, she lived in town and we were like real close buddies around like grade 5 6, and she was like the only friend I had, and it was so nice of her to become friends with me because she was quite attractive,
Hmm.
but she wasn't popular, and I think it's because she lived in town but she was very poor.
Oh.
And she was one of those girls who at like 13 years old was definitely having sex with 20-year-old men.
Oh, Jesus.
And I remember even at the time think like I wasn't judgmental of it because you're a child, right? You're
You
like,
don't really know.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
do remember at the time thinking like, why do you want a guy that old? Like to me, guys around our age were hot. Like I was always attracted to my age, right?
Hmm.
Except for celebrity crushes.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Aladdin.
Marilyn Manson.
Ah, yep, yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The amount that I got picked on and then not knowing how to dress and then like finding gothy shit and relating to it so hard, like to the message and the lyrics and everything, is what turned me into like super goth teenager.
Yep.
Yeah. I shaved the sides of my head. I had like a wicked black mohawk, and I went and made my mom, I had jobs, right? Like I was working at McDonald's and stuff. So I saved all my money to go to Millennium in West Edmonton Mall.
Oh God, it was so expensive there.
It was so expensive, but I didn't pay rent. I was a teenager working a job, and I dropped money on some like beautiful, like pleather, like mermaid style goth dresses and outfits, and had the whole like black mohawk. I shaved off my eyebrows and was painting them on. I was like hardcore goth kid, like fucking hardcore. I did the white um face makeup and like the crazy
Yeah.
eyebrows that would come here and go up with patterning, and yeah, and like bicked the sides of my head, like completely shaved.
Hmm.
And then I would slick the mohawk straight back or have it to one side. And my hair is
Yeah.
super thick. I have a lot of hair. It's fine, but it's thick.
Yeah.
So my mohawk was about this wide. Like it was a wider one,
Hmm.
or about normal. Yeah. When I would part it in the middle, you couldn't tell my sides were shaved. Like thick ass hair.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, and then met a goth 21-year-old on the internet from vampirefreaks.com.
Yep.
You read the profile there?
Yep.
Oh, I think about those days, man. That was the wild west of the internet. The chat rooms. Oh my God.
Oh God, I was in so many chat rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. I learned stuff I should not have learned. Obviously, overly hypersexual, blah, blah, blah. I
Mm-hmm.
am, I guess, bisexual. So I've been very fluid of, hey, I like you. Hey, I
Mm-hmm.
like you.
But you've only dated men or
Nope,
relationships?
I've dated women. I didn't like dating women.
Mm-hmm.
I, as I've said many times, I like fucking women. I would never date a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I like being the what is it? I loved being the third where it was a couple and they're like, "I we need to find somebody to bang together." Oh, I'll come.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll bang and then I'm like, "Okay, bye. We're not dating. I just that was fun."
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I'm incredibly straight. Like
Fair.
wildly straight. Like
Mm.
I don't like the concept of vaginas existing.
Other than yours getting
No, I don't like that one either. Just have
no?
it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, like I don't feel body dysmorphia. I don't think I'm like a gay man in a woman's body.
Mm.
But also I think like that like I'm not opposed to that. But I feel like a woman. I am a woman. It's just
Fair.
like I don't like vaginas. They're weird.
I always felt like a which is really weird to say, and I'll age it up. Uh, I always felt like an 18-year-old bi boy stuck in a female body. But really, as I was growing up, I just felt like a dude in a female body.
Hmm.
But also, I love being a girl because I love my boobs and I love my butt
Mhm.
and I love
It was
being a
more
girl.
maybe the societal aspect of like how women were supposed to behave, and because you're
Yeah.
neurodivergent, you didn't behave the right way. So you
Oh yes,
felt
I
more
was.
like I should be a dude, I guess. Because I
Yeah,
had
because I
that.
was very tomboyish, very
Mhm.
I liked dude stuff, and I was more
Yeah.
connect. Back in the day, comic books were very, oh, that's for boys. But I love comic books. It's for boys. Anime, that's for boys. All the stuff that's generally for boys, I loved.
Mhm.
So it's just like, oh, I don't know. I guess I'm a boy stuck in a woman's body, but I love being a woman. So,
Mhm. It's
mm,
just like the like gender norms are fucking stupid, and it's
I
got to
hate
get rid
them.
of them because I was a tomboy too, and I
Mm,
still don't really like the color pink or purple or anything like that. Like they're just not my vibe.
mm,
My dog has a pink leash and a pink collar, but that's just because she's a pit bull, and I think it softens her, so people are less scared of her. It's not because I like pink.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's funny because a lot of the traits about me in my childhood or like in general, people would, and some of my friends have suggested they think I'm autistic, not BPD. I'm not. I just like some of the same things autistic people do. I fucking love dinosaurs, okay? Dinosaurs are cool as hell. It's because I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with animals. I love animals of all variants. And I
Mhm.
actually think part of that is the BPD because I always wanted to root for the underdog.
Yes.
Always rooted for the
Yep.
underdog. Always like felt so bad for them and wanted to give them love, and just my heart would
Hmm.
hurt for the fact that people didn't love them. At one point when I was a child, I was like, I think my favorite color is yellow because no one likes it, and I feel bad for yellow that no one likes it. So I don't like yellow. I don't like yellow at all. But I was like, it's gonna be my favorite color now because I feel bad for yellow. Um, and then the same with like monsters, and so dinosaurs and big scary things and scary animals and snakes and spiders and sharks. It's like, oh, nobody loves them. I will love them. So,
That same way even now.
mhm.
Any movie I watch, TV, anime, anything, the one that gets picked on all the time, or the little fat kid, or whatever it is, I'm like, they're my favorite. I like them. the outcast
Yeah.
that everybody hates and picks on. I like that one. That's my
It's also very easy for us to relate to and be like,
yeah.
ooh, know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have done a lot of like assessments for autism. I've self-assessed myself. I do not think I'm autistic. I do
Hmm.
not believe I have autism. I think a lot of the core things of autism I just don't fit. It's
Mhm.
that I have overlap with my behaviors, which is normal.
But also, it's all in the same, BPD, ADHD, autism is all on that same brain spectrum side
Yeah,
anyway.
there's a lot of overlap with all of them.
Yeah.
Hmm. And I think when my lovely, wonderful friend who is autistic, love her to death, but I don't really want to say her name on the podcast because she might not like that anyway. So love you, blank. Um, she's autistic, diagnosed autistic, and she had a little theory, and I understand where she's coming from, but I don't agree with it. Where she's like, I think all borderline people are a type of autism, and it's just like a misdiagnosed autism, and I feel like you fall under the category, and blah blah blah. And she had this theory, and I'm like, okay, I understand this is coming from a place of love, but borderline personality disorder is primarily caused by trauma, so it can't be.
Yeah.
Like, that's not possible, right? Because autism is not caused by trauma. Like, autistic behavior patterns can be amplified by trauma, but you don't just become autistic, right?
No. I I feel like it would make things so much easier in my life, but no. I yeah.
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 My BPD is primarily caused by trauma, but it can also be
Mhm.
genetic, right? So you have a genetic predisposition to developing BPD, and then trauma will cause you to develop it. And in my experience in dealing with people with BPD, the ones who are caused primarily by trauma have a very severe BPD, a
Yeah.
much more severe version. I am in the genetic camp. My
Mhm.
mother definitely had it. She had quiet BPD, so she didn't explode at all. There's a version of BPD where we just internalize it into ourselves. And my grandmother definitely has it. Like,
Yeah.
she's a crazy lady. She doesn't have the anger though. I got the anger. Very fun.
Ooh.
My Viking ancestors would be proud. um, so my grandmother has the extreme sensitivity without the BPD rage, but she has some other of the symptoms that I don't have, like dissociation and stuff. I might
Yeah.
dissociate and I might just not know what that is. So I don't know
And
when
that
I'm
could
experiencing it.
also come with age too. As you do get older, you could have some more dissociative tendencies.
I don't know. I really don't know
Mm.
because when people describe a behavior, unless I know what that behavior feels like, it's really hard to
Yeah.
know, like, oh, I do that or not. And
Hmm.
dissociation is one of those things where I'm like, I don't quite understand.
Yeah.
No matter how people have explained it to me, so I don't know. But obviously, like, we have a borderline in the women of our family. And so mine manifested because not because of like an extreme childhood trauma, but
Hmm.
mostly just because of feeling unloved in childhood. I was very loved. I know that. But I was an only child until I was 8, and I was just countryside left to raise myself. So I did feel unvalidated,
Hmm.
and I had the genetic predisposition and it developed. And then when my brother was born, he became the golden child very, very strongly. And so my borderline was like extremely amplified.
Yeah. Mine was, what is it? My sister had lots of mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was born, and my mother believed in the old wives' tale, as long as you're breastfeeding, you won't get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So then she got pregnant. I think it was 2 or 3 months after I was born. So Irish twins with my brother,
Mm-hmm.
and he was born with asthma and health issues. So my sister had mental issues and health issues. My brother had health issues. So I was pretty much ignored.
Mm-hmm.
So those kids that, they're like, oh, if they're never hugged as children, they grow up like this and da 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 da. Yeah, I hate being touched and hugged, and
Mm.
it feels very like death, like you're
The common
claustrophobic
autism
going
thing
to
too, though.
die. Yes, it like maybe if I was hugged at all as a child or a baby, I wouldn't feel so like this, but
I
maybe
I
not. I
think
don't know.
it's probably more likely your flavor of autism, because autism
Could
is one
be.
of those things that you can't control what kind of autism you have, right?
Yeah.
It's not trauma. And I've met autistic people who were touch sensitive from being a baby,
Mm.
like from early, early childhood, were like, nah, don't touch me. Like they can't handle the stimulation of it.
Yeah.
So that could be the primary reason.
It
But
could
then there's
be.
other autistic people who love touch, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then like because of my sister's mental issues, she would explode in very violent ways.
Mm,
So I was just beat a lot. Like any memory I actually remember, I don't really remember much of my childhood. The memories I do have is pretty much hiding in terror and then getting beat up and then hiding in terror.
have you ever sought a diagnosis for CPTSD,
I don't know
like
what that is.
complex post-traumatic stress disorder?
Oh, I'd probably definitely have some
Yeah,
PTSD. Oh,
I would
yeah,
say
no, for sure.
with that childhood, it's very hard because your autism symptoms
Hmm.
could be CTPSD. You definitely are
Could.
autistic, and you're not. But some of your behavioral patterns could be from that. But
Yeah.
because you're autistic, it's really easy to take all these and be like, oh, let's lump them in to the autism. But
Yeah.
you might have treatable CTPSD symptoms
Hmm.
in this mix that
And
you could like get chuck out with treatment.
then throw some ADHD in there too, and then you're just gotta, and
Hmm.
then DMS, and now you're just a big melting pot
Yeah,
of,
shits.
yeah,
Melting pot of shits.
yeah. I did a lot of childhood healing, regression healing stuff, and that was fun and healthy,
Hmm.
not fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say healthy. I don't. I feel like fun wouldn't be. Mhm.
Not fun. So, yeah, and then it was a lot of apparently, did you know that people who are neurodivergent hold their pens differently
Okay,
than
I read that. I read that whole post and I was
yeah.
thinking about it the whole time and I disagreed with it. And then I went into the fucking comments and there were a bunch of experts that debunked it.
Yeah, cuz I'm just like I don't know, but also I remember vividly growing up my mother screaming at me and
Wanting you to
hitting
hold
me
it,
for holding it incorrectly.
let me find a pen because I hold the same
So,
way you are. And the pressure thing, oh my God, I don't have a pen. I have this nozzle.
yeah,
Okay,
I have a
this
thing.
nozzle. So I also hold with it resting on my camera, on my middle finger. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
there.
then I'll
I get
push
like
written. Yeah.
sore there, and I
Yeah.
get calluses. I've got a callus
Yeah.
there.
Meow. And then I hold it like I over push for some
I
reason and
over
I'm like,
push too. Yeah,
yeah.
and I think that might be the neurodivergent. Like they were saying ADHD. The post I was
Yeah.
reading about was ADHD specific. I think the pushing could be because of the pressure stimming.
Yeah. Cuz I push so hard and then my finger ends up hurting and I'm like, why do my fingers hurt?
Oh, why am I using this? I should just be using because I don't use a pen very much anymore. But I've got the giant phone, so I've got the
Mm.
stylus, and I
Oh,
play
there you
phone
go.
games a lot. And yeah, I will cause. They're not like warts, but they're like pressure
Yes.
bumps and irritation that appear on my middle finger there, on my
Yeah.
meaty finger, from
Yeah.
doing this. And I saw the post where they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to do it this way." But then when I was reading, a bunch of experts chiming in, being like, no, that's not correct. This is how we used to teach people, and this
Mm.
is new. It's not a neurodivergent thing. This is the new generation's
Yeah.
way of learning because of it's easier with pressure. like better
Yeah,
for you.
I don't. I was holding pens in a specific way, and my mother is just like, she screamed at me, and I'd have to write for hours and hours until I could hold it the proper, appropriate way.
But the way we hold it is the appropriate way I was taught in school.
See, I don't know if this could be the way that she screamed at me until I did it like
I think
this.
so because we're the same age-ish, we're the same
Yeah.
generation. So, and this is the way I was taught in school. I remember the lesson. I
Mm,
remember them being like, you hold it and you rest it on there and you pinch, and that's how you write. Because
yeah.
this is the most natural position. But now they teach kids this because this causes pressure issues for people who write too much, right?
Mm,
So now they're teaching like this very loose, like tri grip because it's
yeah.
supposed to be better for your fingers. But it's new.
Oh.
So the post talking about it being neurodivergent was wrong.
Mm.
Experts weighed in.
Yeah, I don't know how I was holding it before, but it got embedded in me
You
until I
probably did this.
finally. Yeah, it was like something like this where I used all
Probably
my
did like
fingers or
this or through the fingers because a lot of
yeah,
us did and then got yelled at.
yeah.
Like through the fingers like this or something. Yeah,
I think it was just like a all hand thing. I was like,
maybe.
meh, mama,
Yeah.
mama. I don't know. All I know is I got yelled at until and beat until I finally did it correctly. So
And I never got yelled at by my mom, but it was my mom had a very inattentive parenting style, hence the BPD. Like, I seek a lot of reassurance because I didn't have that.
no, I was definitely my brother was I don't know if he is autistic, but he's definitely more neurotypical leaning, and I was the weirdo, so I got punished a lot. A
Mm-hmm.
lot, a lot. Everything I did, all the autism stimming stuff that you would do, oh, is all bad. How dare you? You're terrible and awful, and now you're gonna get hit, and then you're going to go to your room
This is a
because
very sad episode. We should
it
go back
is.
to talking about strange dicks.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's fine.
I
Like, we can obviously get into the dark shit too. We don't want to only keep this, like, be like, we can only talk about happy shit.
Oh
No,
no,
real
I did
life.
not grow up in a happy childhood. I'm happy all the time now, but I was
Lennox, you're in the
he's
podcast now.
so nervous.
Oh, he's nervous about his big break on the big screen.
I made him green for St. Patty's Day. He's very mad at me for grabbing him. He won't
Oh,
even look
Lennox.
at me. He's so nervous. Like,
I mean, his
that's
tail's
just,
wagging.
no, that's anxiety tail.
Oh,
So
I can't
there's,
really tell. He's very blurry and black,
yeah.
so I can't really see his expressions. Oh, now I can see them. Yeah, that was exactly. Okay. I saw it. Oh, Lennox. Oh, I guess he can't hear me. He's got headphones. Yeah.
No, he won't even like, hi, can you look at me? No.
Oh no, Lennox.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
like, help.
okay, go away. Oh, he gave me a little lick on my foot. He's like, thank you for putting me down.
God, the animals, they're out of water again. Fucking Thailand.
Do you buy can you buy like giant Culligan water size bottles, or is it all just smaller ones?
I could probably just get one of those dispensers and order a couple jugs, and that would be a lot more convenient. But until I know where I'm living for a long time, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. I can buy big, like, jugs with a handle and walk from the corner store, like, super close to me. But the problem is then I have to drink out of them, and they don't have a spout.
Fair, fair. Yeah. At one point when you get your larger home.
Once I get a house, I'll get like a big
Yeah.
water dispenser for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be the easiest because it is kind of like I don't like all the plastic waste with the bottles of water here. I really don't, but it's just the nature of life here.
Yeah. They don't do they have any type of like faucet attachment thing?
So, from what I understand, I thought the water issues in Bangkok were parasites. It is not. It's metals.
Oh,
So I yeah, you could get those. It's
but
not going to get the metals out of the water.
no.
Yeah. So
Gotcha,
my
gotcha.
initial thought, because Southeast Asia, people are like, don't drink the tap water. I have drank the tap water tons in Thailand, like I've told you, and I've talked about to a lot of other people. I have never gotten sick from the tap water in Thailand. So I was
Yeah.
always kind of like, what the fuck? Because oh boy, the water in Indonesia, I ate one dessert that was made with ice that wasn't too clean, and I was like violently ill for 2 weeks, right? Like Thailand is not a dirty country. It's really
Mhm.
not. It's a pretty clean country. Um, but then I found out that it's like what the issue with the tap water in Thailand, in Bangkok, is like a buildup of heavy metals in it. I'm like,
Uh, okay,
because
that
yeah,
makes
the
sense.
pipe system and everything, yeah, it's not that clean. Like I imagine there's also bacteria, but it
Hmm.
seems to be not in amounts that are that bad.
Mhm.
But I think in rainy season, because of the flooding, there's more chance of like cross contamination of stuff because streets flood and like into the sewer systems, and there's a chance that could be. I don't really know how the system here works,
Yeah,
but I was reading a lot of Reddit posts about it of people being like, it's a problem with heavy metal buildup.
gotcha. Okay. And yeah, that wouldn't be healthy for the animals at all.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where okay, for a once in a while, like sure, yeah, I can give him tap water. It'll be fine. Like I could probably drink it. I don't because I also recently found out that pretty much every hotel, like a decent sized hotel, will have a water filtration system built in. So that's
Oh,
why I was always fine drinking the tap water in hotels,
yeah.
but apartments will not.
Hmm.
So my Thai friends are like, no, in an apartment building, don't. Um, this apartment building might because it's serviced apartment. It's like mostly short-term stay,
Mhm.
but I don't know. And jugs of water are cheap, so I'll just keep doing that.
So when you get a house where you're going to be living for a while, put in a filtration system and then you don't have to worry about it.
If I bought a house, I
Yeah.
would. I would do a full filtration system. Um, but again, with the heavy metals, I don't know what kind of system you need to do that.
Yeah.
Because when
Doing.
when I'm staying in hotels and I'm drinking the water and it's like, yeah, it's got a filtration system, so you're fine. That's probably still not taking any heavy metals out. It's just that you're not staying in a hotel for a long time, so it doesn't matter.
What things did you play with when you were young? Electric toothbrushes, uh, the handles of hairbrushes.
I did handles. I didn't do anything vibraty or electric. I'm still
Mm,
not like super into vibrators. I have this thing that might be in my brain
mm.
where I'm mildly convinced that vibrators cause some of my like UTI problems.
Oh, especially if it's not fully sanitized beforehand.
I
Then,
don't even necessarily know that it's about the sanitization
hmm.
because I will use a vibrator for vibrator over top of clothing or
Okay.
like some sort of something in between for like more sanitary.
Mm.
I'm so prone to UTIs and in my brain, and this could just be me thinking this because I'm gonna, I guess, did I talk about my medical issues on the podcast yet that I've been dealing with?
I want. I think so because I remember talking about like maybe not fully, but I remember talking about the being on so many antibiotics. But I don't know if that was just talking in our personal lives or talking on the
Yeah.
podcast. I don't
I
know.
don't think we kept it in the podcast. I think that might have been the first episode because you talked about the cat bite.
Yes, I did.
And so I don't think we kept it in. So I'll talk about
Mm.
that a little bit before we end this. I've been prone to, because it's good health things for people to know.
Yep.
Um, I have been prone to UTIs since I was a child because I got my first UTI before, like, I think the cutoff age for when it's really bad for you is like 13 or 14. And I got my first one at around 12. And I had it for a year because it was misdiagnosed.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and I was an awkward kid that wasn't comfortable asking my mom or people about like what's normal about bodies.
Yeah.
So I had it for a long time, didn't know what was wrong with me, and then went to a female doctor who misdiagnosed it as a yeast infection, even though it had none of the symptoms of that, and that didn't make any sense. I was like, hey, it burns when I pee, and she's like, yeast infection, go take some Canestin. And I'm like, okay. And when that didn't do anything, my brain started getting real like, I wonder if everybody has this feeling. Like, does everybody just burn when they pee and it's normal? And maybe I'm just being a baby about it? Like, I didn't know. So I lived with it for a year before I finally was like, okay, mom, like, I think I need to go to the doctor. Like,
Huh.
and then went to a different doctor, a male doctor, and told him, like, yeah, so I have this, and we came to the doctor like a year ago, and she said yeast infection, and you should have seen his eyes bug out of his head because he was like, you've had this, like, this child, this 13-year-old child now has had this for like a year, and
Which is
another
so
doctor
bad
said
for
it's
your
a yeast
kidneys.
infection. Yep, yeah, I'm super damaged in the bladder and kidneys now. So it does almost near irreparable damage, and now I'm very prone to them. I can get them super easy. And I tend to notice I will get them from over intake of sugar plus dehydration. If I dehydrate myself and am eating way too much sugar for a while, I will get them. Yeah. So, and because I used to do a ton of road trips where I dehydrate myself a lot because I don't want to be pissing every fucking 20 minutes.
Yep.
And you eat a lot of sugary shit because gas station snacks tend to be hyper sugary, I would get them. Because I'm prone to them, in my early life too, I had them way, way, way more often. And then like through my 20s, they kind of went away and I didn't have one for a long time. Or I would only get them every like once every few years if I was lucky, or go like 5, 6 years without one. And then recently they've come back. And I'm very sensitive to it because I know my body. I'm very aware of my body, very sensitive in my body. I know when something's wrong. So usually I'll be like, I think I'm getting a bladder infection. I'll be able to rush to the doctor because they turn very bad for me very fast.
Yeah.
Because of the damage. Like within about 5 hours, it'll go from like, I think I'm getting a bladder infection to I am pissing blood and chunks of flesh and screaming in pain. Like, yeah, it's bad. So I had one in Vancouver before I moved away from Canada. But it turns out now that like 10 months of trying to figure out what's going on has gone by and we finally figured it out. It turns out the bacteria that caused it was an abnormal bacteria, not the normal kind that cause UTIs. So all of the antibiotics that are made for UTIs do not kill this bacteria. So and here in Thailand, you can buy antibiotics over the counter at any pharmacy. You don't need a prescription.
I
And there's
wish.
like, yeah, it's really convenient. There's like 4-ish different kinds you can get, like quite maybe more. But for bladder infections, there's like a few that they'll be like, oh, try this one, this or this one. So I had tried the antibiotics in Canada. Didn't feel like it cleared me out 100%, but it was doing okay. And then I got here and I tried antibiotics. So total, I have been on antibiotics 9 times in 10 months.
Wow.
Mhm.
Jesus.
And the first the first 7 times were the wrong kinds of antibiotics. It was 3 different kinds we tried, or 3 or 4 different kinds in the first 7 times, and then just different dosage amounts, and they were just the wrong kind. And then when I went to the hospital here, I was finally like, I need to go to a hospital. Something is wrong. The first kidney specialist I saw was trying to like completely dismiss me. He was like an old grumpy old man. And he was just like, you don't have any bacteria. We did the test. You don't have any bacteria in your pee. You're just being crazy. And he tried to diagnose me with overactive bladder syndrome. Like that doesn't describe like that. Like there's weird other symptoms. Weird symptoms I've never had with another UTI. Right? We're just a little weird.
Yeah.
And so I forced them to do a comprehensive urology where they send it away for a week and come back. And sure enough, and then I asked for a different doctor. On the way out, I was like, I'm not seeing that doctor again. Give me a different one. And they're like, oh, we've got another kidney specialist, but he's much younger. Is that okay? I'm like, yes. So, um, a week later, come back with the comprehensive urinalysis with the new doctor. 3 different bacteria is all uncommon in my bladder.
Jesus.
3 different bacteria, all of which do not get treated by any of the normal antibiotics. You have to go on specialty antibiotics. So I had to hit a double whammy of these 2 specialty antibiotics at the same time for a week, which was a nightmare. They caused so much bloating in my body, and it was a nightmare. Went to Singapore, finished them while I was in Singapore, came back, wasn't feeling 100%, had the follow up. They found a little bit more bacteria from one of the kinds of bacteria. So I had to go on the same 2 because he's like, you have to double whammy this bacteria. You can't just go on one of these for 2 weeks. He's like, let's blast this out of here just to be sure. I didn't actually go to the follow up after because I feel fine now. Yeah. I know it's gone. Like I'm sensitive. I know my body. I think it's dead.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting part and why I wanted to talk about this on the podcast that I learned from this is all 3 of these bacteria are normal bacteria that are found in the vagina. They just live there. They're just normal vaginal bacteria. They are the ones, one of them especially is the one that causes BV.
Okay.
So if you have an explosion of this bacteria and an overgrowth of it, you will get BV, right? So there was a moment there while he was treating me with the antibiotics that he was like, we should send you to the gyno and check that you don't have BV. I'm like, but it don't. Because BV is very obvious when you get it. Like the smell.
Yeah, it has a smell and then you're like itchy and stuff.
Not itchy with BV, that's yeast infection.
Oh. Okay.
That's supposed to be. Just supposed to be. Yeast infection is the itchy, BV is the not so itchy, but smell. Okay. Real bad. So yeah, went to the gyno and he's like, you don't have BV. And I'm like, I know. And he's like, this bacteria that he wants me to test for is a normal bacteria that will be found in the vagina because that's where it lives. And I'm like, I know. But we found it in my bladder. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So apparently normal bacteria that live in your vagina can randomly travel up into your bladder, and it can just happen. And it can happen from a bajillion other like random reasons. You know, of course, the first thing people will be like, you're not wiping properly. Yes, I am. I know how to fucking wipe, okay? I'm 35 years old. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm very sanitary down there. But a part of my brain is like, could the vibrator have caused it? Collect bacteria from the vagina and then vibrate it up the urethra, right?
I could see that. I could also see if you're like using pads, like, you know, that time of the month, and it goes on both ways, it could.
I used to use pads a lot more. Now that I'm living here, I'm using tampons more just because sweat. Like the pad will be very sweaty. Ugh. And then, yeah, it doesn't, like, it needs to be dry to collect the blood, right? Like,
yeah.
But I don't really think that's it because my lips they'll close fully, right? Like I don't really have like exposed inner labia when I'm sitting normally. But the vibrate, I don't know, like part of my brain's like, that could be. So I think I'm like quitting the vibrators because 10 months of having a fucking infection and living with this and feeling like you're going crazy, you're kind of like, I don't want to take any risks. But it is an abnormal, like random thing that could just happen randomly. And it's just one of those like, hey, always pee after sex, ladies. Like right after masturbating or sex or anything, go pee after. Even if you don't feel like you have to, go let out the couple little drops. It clears everything out of your urethra.
Even if you have to sit there for a few minutes, don't push. Pushing is actually bad for your pelvic floor, but just gotta sit, bring your cell phone, turn the tap on maybe. Turn the tap on, drink some water. Wait.
Speaking of water. Yeah.
Drink the water.
Drink the water. Hydrate the mouth.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like 10 minutes later, it's like, why are you still in there? I haven't peed yet.
For me, it's like, especially if I shower after, I'll get that like, oh, I've got to pee. So usually I can get out the like at least a few drops. But super, super important because this kind of like a UTI, they don't test for these bacteria. And the antibiotics you're going to go on won't kill them. You need specialty ones, and it can happen. And I am lucky that I am very hyper aware of my body. I know most people are not. It has been
Yeah.
a problem for me with getting medical professionals to believe me in the past because most people are not so aware. So I come across like a hypochondriac. I'm like, no, something's wrong. And I know, I feel it.
Yep.
So if you're not aware of your body like that and you take a round of antibiotics and you think it's done, you could just be living with this infection for a long time. It can cause huge issues. It can travel up to your kidneys. You can get sepsis. Like you can die.
Yep. No, the amount of times I've gone to the doctor and I'm like, hey, there's something wrong. Like, my heart literally stops beating, or I get the MS hug thing from the time I was 16. And they're just like, oh, everybody gets that. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you.
It took a long time for you to get the MS diagnosis, right?
Yeah, 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting symptoms from 16 years old that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Love that. Love how
Love
doctors dismiss women.
Oh my God. They're just like, oh, you're not, it's fine. I'd always get are you sure you're not pregnant? I'm not pregnant.
Oh my God. Yes.
I'm not. I'm not. I swear to God, I am not freaking pregnant. I haven't had sex in 5 years. There's nothing going on down there. Unless my fingers, because I don't use vibrators, I generally use my finger. Unless my fingers magically can have semen coming out of them.
What a superpower. Semen fingers.
Could you imagine if semen just shot out of your fingers? That's my superpower.
Side note, I love that your partner can probably hear this and it's just hearing you go, imagine if semen shot out of my finger.
Else I'm weird. He like the shit I say. He's just like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Like,
I just imagine him peeking his head around the corner and looking at you right now, like, and then disappearing. But anyway, semen fingers, right? Yeah. Oh, you want to hear a funny story? Because always, my whole life, it's been like, are you sure you're not pregnant? I'm like, I'm literally on my period, so probably not, but okay. But then one time when I was like 24. So my body just doesn't get pregnant easy, which is great because I don't like kids. Like perfect.
yeah.
I just don't. But I had one ex where his shit, like the pH levels of our shit must have been perfect because it was ridiculous how easily I would get pregnant from him. And I was on birth control at the time. Like, it's something about us. It was like the universe being like, break up with this guy. Look we're gonna keep sending you problems. Like, it was. I also got BV from him a fuck ton of times we had sex. Something about our pHs were just like literally the universe is like, no, don't be in love with this old man.
No, my one ex, every time we had sex, I either got BV or a UTI. Every time.
Yeah. I
It's
didn't
terrible.
get UTIs from him. That was luckily in the window of time where I wasn't getting them.
Mm.
But it was BV or pregnant. It was ridiculous. Like
what?
Yeah, and it became like a joke with us where he was like, I thought I could just look at you and you'd end up pregnant. It was a problem. And luckily abortions are considered healthcare in Canada, and I was able to, get the pill, the medical one. Yeah. Not that is fun. It is so horrifically painful. I turn suicidal and I do self-harm because the pain is so bad that I have self-harmed every time. Like I will stab myself with a fork in the leg over and over and over to stop the pain. Like I very much want a hysterectomy.
Yep.
But yeah, normally I don't get pregnant. And the first time with him, when I got pregnant, I was having weird symptoms and I didn't know I was pregnant. And I was having like really strange symptoms. So I went to the walk-in clinic that I normally went to and saw the doctor I normally saw there. And I brought it up to him. I'm like, I'm having these really weird things where if I have an orgasm or poop, I get cramps. Like bad cramps after that hurt. Yeah. And he was like, huh. Interesting. So he's like, I'll send you for an ultrasound, I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll see what's going on there. And I asked him, I'm like, do you think it could be that I'm pregnant? Could we should we check that first? And he was like, no,
Hmm.
that doesn't make any sense. I don't think so. What do you think it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went for the ultrasound, and the first thing the ultrasound tech said is, did you know you're pregnant? And I'm like, nope, ask the doctor if that could be what's causing the symptoms. So glad I had to wait for this ultrasound to find that out.
Right?
Yeah. So, like, like there was never any worry. Like, I was always able to catch it fast enough, like before
Yeah.
5 weeks, and get the pill. And it's just like, it's like a miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the one time when I was the one time a doctor was like, that couldn't be it. And it just goes to show that doctors just want to dismiss women no matter what.
Right? It's just
Mhm.
like I know I'm not pregnant. Are you pregnant? I'm 50-60% sure I'm pregnant. You're not pregnant. What the heck? It's
Yeah.
like you can't win.
Yep.
Nope.
So just like, oh, of course. Oh my God. But yeah, everybody pee after sex every time, and masturbating and anything like that, because it's really important to flush that shit out. And I had the really unfortunate side effect from these antibiotics, which I had to be on for 3 weeks total, where because they are designed to kill the bacteria that are normally present in your vagina, you will get
Mhm.
the worst yeast infections of your life. Just the worst.
No.
Because they blast every bacteria that you need in there for a healthy ecosystem.
Yeah.
So in that 3 weeks, I had to take 4 yeast infection treatments.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No.
The last one I took as a preventative.
Yeah.
Actually, because I was like, no, because I timed it. I was reading online, like, you can take, for chronic yeast infections, you can just take the pills back to back. It gives you like the
Okay.
layout of how to take pills, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine was actually dealing with like stuff to do with that, and we were chatting about it, and I found out, and I was like, perfect. And didn't find out from any doctor or pharmacist. No, found out from my friend who's dealing with it, the internet. So I made sure to take, they last in your system for up to 6 days. It says for chronic yeast infections, take it another one in 72 hours, and you can do that. So I timed it so that it would overlap 2 days past the final dose of the antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
So that it'd be like, okay, I will be fine. And I
Like,
think we're good now.
start taking theirs like probiotics specifically for down there.
Yeah, there's like a lot of people have been like, why don't you take that? I'm like, well, because while I'm on these antibiotics, it's just killing everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to win. It's 2 different extremely strong antibiotics at the same time.
Oh, I hate being on antibiotics. I hate it so much. Especially yours, you couldn't even have like any dairy.
One was 3 times a day, and one was 2 times a day, and all 5 you're supposed to take with food, and then not
Yep.
dairy. And I drink lattes. I I I eat a lot of dairy. And I don't eat 3 times a day. I eat usually once a day and then a snack, right? Like, this was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And they
No,
cause
I
so much bloating.
yeah.
So much bloating.
No,
Mm. In fact,
terrible.
people on the podcast will probably see, like, because all of our first episodes, I was on them. All of the first ones we recorded. And I looked a lot bigger than I do now. I haven't dramatically lost weight in a few weeks. Like, this is my size.
Mm.
I was bloated from antibiotics.
Yeah.
I looked way bigger. And cute story. Yeah, because I met my boyfriend on them, and I looked a lot bigger, and so he thought I was like bigger, and it became this thing where, with the word fat, right, where he didn't understand the translation.
Yep.
Um, in the few times he has seen me since, now that I've been on them, he's like, "Why are you so much thinner every time I see you? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening?" And
I'm no longer bloated.
yeah, I've had to explain to him, look, I think white people also might bloat more than Asian people. Is that a thing? I think so.
I think so.
So, right?
Yeah.
Because bloating is very normal for like every white person I know. We're all like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, like our bodies shift, we bloat, like diet or hormones or whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently that's very weird here.
Oh, yeah. I fluctuate a lot. Like sometimes I'll be your 125, and then other times I'm closer to like your 140. It just kind of depends on time of the month
My weight
slash.
doesn't change, just how I
Oh,
look.
yeah. No, my weight changes.
My
It's
weight
weird.
doesn't change. I'm heavy as hell though.
Mm.
I'm dense. I'm very dense. Like you being like 125 to 140, I'm like, girl, I'm a lot heavier than that.
Yeah, I
Like,
just fluctuate between the two depending on how active I am. In the wintertime, it's obviously year 130.
I'm about 155.
I was 5'3" and now I am 5'2" cuz as you get older, you start shrinking. Yeah, cuz I did my physical last year with my doctor. Yeah, and they measured me and now I am 5'2".
You've always been shorter than me, but not dramatically shorter.
I was 5'3", but now I am not.
You have to have been like 5'3" and a half. You
No.
have, no,
No,
I'm
5'3".
5'5" ish.
Yeah.
Mhm. You're disappearing.
I,
I'm
sure.
disappearing this way, and you're disappearing this way.
Well, I saw my grandmother uh in November, December, and she's like down to my ribs. She's so tiny. She's so short.
Kind of weird shrinking peoples are you? What kind of
Yeah,
leprechauns are you?
she's so short. So little.
Interesting.
Yes. Well, I mean, I am the tallest female on both sides of my family.
No, I am not. I'm
So,
quite short for my family. Like quite short.
yeah, all the guys are like five, or no, all the guys are 6 feet, and all the women are not.
My Norwegian ass blood family, I'm a shorty.
Yeah.
Um, I'm my mom's height. My mom wasn't tall. I'm like, I look like my mom a lot. I'm her height. I have her eyes. Like very, yeah. I just took
Yeah.
after her. My couple of my cousins are like, God, they've got to be like 5'10", the women, 5'9", 5'10". Mm-hmm. And then my like uncles and great uncles and stuff on that, like the Norwegian blood side, are like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Oh,
Tall.
take my little Thai boyfriend there. Then he gonna be like, oh my God, you guys are Vikings.
How tall is he?
He's probably between 5'8" and 5'9". He's not short for Asia.
No.
He's tallish
Mm-hmm.
for Asia and fairly average, I would say. I think he's way hotter than my ex-husband though.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, girl, you went up. You ranked up.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. And the only thing my ex-husband had going for him was he was hot. That's the only thing. This guy's also nice.
Right? And he kind of understands your brain better.
Not kind of. He understands my brain better in a month of dating than any boyfriend I have ever had has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your ex did not understand your brain.
But yeah, I think I covered the like please piss after and why pretty thoroughly. I don't think there was
And
anything else I wanted to hammer home
also,
there.
men need to do that too. Not just women. Like, men should pee after sex too, especially if they're not using a condom.
Yeah, and things like yeast infections and stuff, you can get those in your dick and in your throat, and like it's
Yeah.
super easy to cure. It's not an STI. It's just like an overgrowth of like a fungus that is normally present on parts.
Well,
But
my one friend, she has a 10-year-old son, and
Mhm.
he got obsessed with bath bombs. Just obsessed. He loved having a
Oh,
bath bomb every night.
and
And
it caused
then it did.
yeah,
It caused a yeast infection. So it's just
yeah.
like, Anybody can get them.
Yep. Being on antibiotics can cause them. Having a period can cause them. Like
Yep.
yeah, it's just a normal thing. But I have had, luckily, as you get older and men understand women's bodies better as they age, this doesn't happen so much anymore. But I've
Yep.
had young guys like straight up be like, I used to, oh my God, like, does that mean you're dirty? Dad? Like, they really react like you're saying you have chlamydia. I'm like, learn.
The the education system has failed so many people in just
Mhm.
basic health and like general. They need an actual proper sex class in school. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, we're not getting that anytime soon. That's
No, of
what we're
course
here
not.
for.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. Okay. Well, what do you think, Sassy? Should we wrap it up for today?
I think so. I need to go hit up the market. It's like 1 p.m. here.
So, we've officially decided we're going to post early access on Patreon / whenever we can do memberships on YouTube. It's going to be videos will be posted on Friday, and they will be ad free. Huzzah! And a little bit probably less censored. Less
Yeah, we could
censored.
probably go on Patreon. I think we can go like fully uncensored.
Yeah. So definitely Patreon, fully uncensored. We'll have that. And then on Mondays, that's when our audio version will come out.
YouTube channel, like Mondays for the masses, we decided.
Yes. Mondays for the masses.
Fridays are for the special people.
Oh.
Our special little snowflakes, our special little guys. What are we gonna call our fans? The sperm bank. I want to call them the sperm bank.
Sperm fingers. Sperm fingers.
I don't like the image of sperm fingers. I don't like your cum hands.
Hands.
Instead of jazz hands, it's jizz hands. Just
Oh my
shoot.
gosh! I wanted when I was going to like fetish nights and going to goth nights and stuff like that. Obviously, there's always creepy people outside
Mhm.
that hit on you and whatever. And I always wanted to just get a small bottle of lube and I'd put glitter in it. And then so if somebody started like being offensive, I just squirt some glitter lube in my hands and just like and then shoot it right into their face and then they would just be like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Ha, I came on your face." And
Um,
glitter cuz why not?
so what should we call our peeps? We
I
gotta
have
have a
no
cute
idea.
nickname for them.
Yes, I'm hoping, cross fingers, something comes up in the comments as where it's
Mhm.
going. Or maybe
Oh,
one day,
let's do a call to action for that. Guys, if you can think of a cute name that we should call you guys that's coffee or sexy related or neurodivergent, or if you can mix all three even better,
oh
drop in the comments.
no, oh no. You know how they'd call masturbation flick the bean?
Yeah, I
You could
hate
do
that
like,
term.
terrible. You could do like
I, mm-mm.
coffee bean, but it's like,
The coffee beans. We're the coffee beans. That's us. 100% that's us. Okay, we need some fan art of us as little coffee beans. We need this.
the coffee beans. Yes. What is it? My boss, she loves obviously smut books, like loves TikTok books. And she was saying that somebody was writing it and they called it a nub, instead of anything else. They're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that nub. And I'm just like, I hate
I
it.
already have a visceral reaction to bean. I
Right?
don't like that at all.
Nope.
Um,
Nope.
I the okay. I have this thing where I have an issue with the euphemisms for female masturbation because all of them are too inaccurate, and I feel like it teaches men to be stupid with how they touch you, like flicking the bean. If somebody flicks me down there, they will lose their
They get punched in the face.
life. Yeah,
Like,
and even like
no.
an aggressive, it brings to mind like an aggressive back and forth motion, which is like, don't fucking do that.
No.
Don't do that.
I mean,
Uh,
you
yeah,
could maybe do it with your tongue, but if you do it with your
I don't
finger, I'm
like that
gonna
with the tongue either.
stab you.
hmm No,
So,
people do that with their tongue, and I'm like, stop, stop.
fair.
Rubbing one out, I don't mind for men and women because that's what it is
Yeah.
for both. So that I quite don't mind.
Mm.
But all of the other euphemisms, I'm like, stupid,
Yeah.
stupid, and it's giving a bad idea of what to do. Um, but I do like us being the coffee beans because we are definitely
All
that.
right, cool. Cool.
But as for the masses, I don't know. Let's see what people come up with.
Yeah, put in your comments down below what you we should call the address you guys as.
And just to be warned, if no one has a good one, I'm gonna start calling you the sperm bank, and you don't want to be that. So, like, come up with something good, right,
Yep.
coconut? Right, coconut?
She's a cocoa bean.
I do call her the cocoa bean.
Mm-hmm.
Cocoa bean, coconut.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Hello. Come here. Put your face here. Oh, you're not on camera. Come on up, 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 up. Get on the camera. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah.
There she
There you
goes.
go. He's a good
Oh.
one. Oh, they're scary. They're very scary. Yes. Okay, bye. Time to go sniff around. Oh,
Yep.
she
Back
loves
to
her
home.
fucking crate, man. She is such a crate dog.
Well, it's
Like,
her
this
happy
is-
place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can leave all day. She'll just stay in there with the door open. She's like, I like it.
Well, remember when you
Um,
first got her? If you didn't have the crate in the house or the hotel first, she would just shit everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Mondays for the masses.
Yes.
You guys gotta come up with your own name for us, because otherwise we're gonna call you some rude things. We're mean.
Fridays for the sperm bank.
Fridays are for the sperm bank. That'll have to be a level of our Patreon, the sperm bank.
Yep.
And yeah, that's gonna be our posting schedule moving forward.
If you had any fun or horrific or traumatizing childhood memories that you want to share, definitely go over to our Reddit. And you
Yeah.
can post it in the story for this one.
Yeah, do that on the Reddit and maybe not the YouTube comments, please. Like, let's keep that for the Reddit or the Patreon.
Yeah. But yes, all the fun things on the regular comments and then all the dark, terrible things everywhere else.
That's for the Reddit. The dark and terrible things are for the Reddit and the Patreon version. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. I think we should wrap it up here. We've been yammering for a long time. This has been a long episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share us on all of the socials. Tell your favorite auntie or your least favorite uncle about us. Why not? And we appreciate all of it.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you guys. Stay caffeinated.
Yes. All the caffeine, except for today. It was all water for me.
Yeah, you're in the evening. You are forgiven. I'm daytime. This is my
Yes.
second and won't be my last.
Lucky girl. All right. Bye-bye.